welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, my name's Holly. So just before I filmed my intro, I somehow managed to smash my wine glass full of wine everywhere, all over the floor. Now my wine is sitting right there out of the way so I don't smash it again, so fingers crossed. So today I'm going to show you guys how I created this look using the Beauty Bay Bright Matte palette. It's called the EYN Bright Matte 42 colour palette. I think I got this probably about a month ago and I've been meaning to do a video on it, but I just haven't got round to it. So if you guys want to see how I created this look and you want to see what the palette performs like, then make sure you keep watching. I'd like to apologise for zooming you guys in so close when my skin looks like this at the minute. But yeah, that's life. As you can see, I've done my eyebrows off camera and made a start on this eye. I don't normally use black, but I was like, oh, I need to do something a bit different. So this is different for me, putting black in my eye looks, believe it or not. Before I make a start on the other eye, I'm going to show you guys the palette. So it looks like this. So it's literally bigger than my head. The amazing thing is with this is it has 42 shades and I think it's like 24 to 26 pounds. I can't quite remember, but so affordable. So if you're looking for a palette where it's got lots of different shades, then try these ones. Their palettes aren't just bright coloured palettes, they do loads of different types. So if you're more kind of a nude, natural kind of girl, then they do a palette called Going Out, I think. There's quite a few, so you can check them out on Beauty Bay. I'm so close to the camera, I can't actually fit this thing in, but this is what it looks like inside. Obviously I had to get this palette because look at it, it's so colourful. I literally love it so much. The good thing is as well is it has some neutral shades here, so if you're kind of looking to dive into some colourful shades, you've still got your backup here to kind of play around a little bit and not go too crazy. I don't know why I keep doing this with my hand. As usual, the first thing I did was carve out my eyebrows and prime my eyelid, and I always use the P. Louise base. So I'm just carving out the underneath of my brow. And then I'm pressing the base right onto my lid. I'm not rubbing or swiping. Just gonna pat it into the skin. Whenever I apply this base, I think to myself, oh my goodness, like my eyelid is actually really veiny. If some of you guys don't use an eyeshadow base, I really recommend using one just because it allows the product to stick better and the pigment just pops off way better as well. So even if you use like a concealer and maybe set it, that's what I started doing at first. The first shade I'm going to go into is this orange shade called Heat Wave. It's a nice bright orange and I just pressed that shade on my inner corner, just in the crease, and then circled it around a little bit, so not directly in the middle. I'm just gonna press and build up that shadow. Also, their palettes are cruelty-free and vegan-free. David Attenborough would be very happy with that. The next shade I'm going to is the shade Hot Stuff, and it's a nice bright red colour. I'm literally getting hand cramp from holding up this palette, so please excuse me. And I'm pressing that right in my crease. It's not like pillar box red, it's kind of got a slight pinky tinge to it. So I can't complain, I love pink. So I like to build shades up and go over them a few times because we want it nice and bright. The pigments of this palette are really good. For the price, 42 shades for £25, like that is so good. I've got eyeshadow palettes that are literally a quarter of this size and I don't know, they're probably like almost double the price. So if you're starting off on using colourful shadows, which I know a lot of you are, then this is a really good palette to get because it's quite easy to blend as well. They're not too overly pigmented that they don't budge, if that makes sense. They're just the right amount that you can build it up and then blend it out really nicely. Then I went in with Head Over Heels, which is a deeper red shade. Place that right on the corner. I didn't hold back with this, I put it right out and then back down. I'm not blending these shadows, I'm literally just pressing on top of the edges and they're just blending themselves. Obviously it's a lot easier when you use the kind of same types of colours, if that makes sense. So if I was to use a green and then a red, I'd have to definitely blend that out. But this is a really nice way to kind of get started with your bright colours and blending. And then on this edge here, I just pressed over slightly that line to kind of start blending it outwards, but with less product. I feel like it's kind of a cheap way to blend out your shadows. Now I'm going back in with Hot Stuff on my teeny weeny little blending brush. I'm going in really lightly and I'm starting to just blend that shadow upwards to my eyebrow. And I'm making sure it's all nice and seamless and connected. Now I'm using Heat Wave, which was the orange shade, and doing exactly the same, just blending it outwards. These steps are quite easy. Sometimes you want to go back in and do the same thing if you want to make it a bit more vibrant or kind of work on the blend. If you guys think of any videos that you actually really want to see, then make sure you comment down below because I'm always intrigued. I like doing videos that people want to see. Obviously, I always put my own spin on it because I love colour. But I like doing natural looks as well. I like to just mix up a little bit. So let me know. So what I'm going to do now that I've got all my shadows blended that I want in my crease, I'm going to go over with the same shadows as I did before, kind of repeating the steps to make it more vibrant. You don't have to do this, but I really feel like it makes such a difference. Sometimes I go over it 3 times. The reason why I think this helps is because when you're blending out your shadows, it does disperse the product a little bit, so it is going to kind of tone down the pigment a tiny little bit. So I like to just kind of go back in and then gently blend it out again. The first shadows that you lay down, I feel like is kind of a bit of a base for your shadows, if that makes sense. And then you really can just work with it and just intensify it. There, just want a little bit more there. This next step kind of scared me a little bit and I was like, what am I doing? This feels so wrong. But I actually used black in my eye look. Can you believe it? So for the outer corner, I used this black shade here called Illicit, and it is so pigmented. Like, I hardly even dipped into it because I was so scared. And then I was like, oh, okay, it looks black. Definitely got to go with it now. So I used my fluffy brush and I went so gentle in with it. Please excuse my double chin when I lean back. I just like tickled it. I don't even know if I actually touched it. Maybe I'm imagining it. So I really gently just kissed it a little bit with the brush. And I started nearer to my lash line. See, I've hardly got any on my brush. You can't even really see it. And it's just so pigmented. I'm blending it out just by applying it and blending it in backward and forwards motions at the same time. So I'm going to gently build it up. It's kind of the opposite of what I do with my bright colours. So normally I pack them on and then blend out after. But with this, because I don't want to go too heavy and it is really pigmented on top of a bright shade, I want to make sure it blends really nicely. So I'm just doing the blending as I'm adding the colour, if that makes sense. And I brought it up to my crease a little bit. Just really lightly blending it out. And I'm bringing it out a little bit as well. It's quite nice with black because you can use it on top of any shade and blend it outwards and it looks a different colour. Like, it's made this look a bit of a deeper reddy maroony colour. So before I take it too far with the black, because I'm getting scared now, I'm going to go in with my cut crease. So I'm taking my P. Louise base and just pressing it on my lid. And then I'm pressing that base on to cover the shadow underneath. Sometimes I get so brave with my cut creases and then it ends up to my eyebrows. But I think we're all good. Now I'm taking that brush that I used for the black and just pressing over that line. And then I'm going to take a little bit of that black and go over it. And just fluff it across. Now I'm going to dip into the shade Hello Sunshine, and it's amazing bright yellow, and I'm just going to place that with a tiny little brush around the edges of my cut crease. I've been using this shade so much, it just kind of happens. Now I'm just using a flat Morphe brush to pack that shade on my lid. Now I'm going to go back in with the black and just smush it across. So I haven't added any more black to it, I'm just kind of using the leftovers. And then I'm going to press over it as well. I thought this would be a lot harder to blend, but you guys would be surprised, honestly. Oh, you think black and yellow is so hard to blend, but I mean, unless I'm blind and it looks awful. Just lining my lash line for my lashes. If you don't wear eyeliner but you wear lashes, try and put some eyeliner on just because it helps them blend a lot better. Like, I know a lot of my friends don't like using eyeliner at all, but come on guys, try the eyeliner just along the lash line. It does wonders. So I can't find the other eyelash. Where are you? Sometimes I leave them lying around the house and I just find them out of nowhere. Oh. I thought I lost my eyelash, but it's actually on the end. These things end up everywhere, honestly. Sometimes I leave them around the house and I think, oh my God, they're gonna end up on my girlfriend's back when she goes to work. Yeah, that would be hilarious though, wouldn't it? While your eyelashes are drying, take a sip of your wine and relax. If you don't have wine, go get some. If you're underage to drink, don't drink. There's plenty of time. There's plenty of time to end up like me. I do love a nice Savvy Bee though. Lovely. I think my favourite soft drink's probably, if I'm honest, orange juice, because I drink it all the time. Like every morning I'll have orange juice. But I don't think it's actually that good for you, is it? It's not good for your teeth. How did I end up talking about orange juice? I've just put my other lash on and this is the eye look pretty much done apart from the under eye. I'm going to go off camera quickly and do my base and then I'll show you guys how to finish this eye look. So now I've done my base makeup, the look is coming together. I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to do my under eye. So I'm going to go in with the shade Heat Wave first. Where is my brush? I'm going to pop that on my lower lash line nearer the inner corner. Now I'm using the shade Hot Stuff right next to it, still along the lash line. And then lastly, I'm using that darker red shade called Head Over Heels, just through the outer edge of my lash line. Lastly, I'm going to go in with a tiny little teeny weeny bit of black. I'm scared. And I'm going to run that along really closely to my lash line and just deepen up that outer corner. So this is the finished look. I did put some yellow in my waterline because I can't help but put colour in my waterline. Obviously you guys don't have to do that. It will look nice with black if you want to deepen it up even more, or even brown liner, or just leave it blank. Is that the word? I don't know. Thank you guys so much for watching. It always means so much to me, so thank you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do. And I'll be out with another video very soon on something a little bit different than this. But yeah, I hope you guys are all well and have a lovely week. Bye!